Latest from Fredericksburg.
Neighbors tell us the man who shot the teen at his home in this neighborhood overnight Saturday is in the military. The young man shot 18-year-old Micheal Bosworth Jr., played lacrosse and football for Massaponax High School. Spotsylvania County Sheriff's officials say Bosworth and two juveniles were in the backyard of a home on Mackenzie Lane around 3 in the morning Saturday.
So 27-year-old military man is now locked up, being charged with first-degree murder for the unaliving of Micheal Bosworth, right? These kids allege that they was playing a TikTok video. Like back in the day, we used to play ding dong doorbell. We ring the doorbell and then run away. Or sometimes you get a bag of poop, you get some poop, put it in the bag, you put it on a person's porch and you light it on fire and they come out and they stomp on it. Just idiotic, stupid stuff we used to do in the 80s as kids. These kids now are bringing that back and they're doing it on TikTok. Well, Micheal Bosworth was recording himself, him and three other kids, in the back door of Tyler Chase Butler at 3 a.m. in the morning, kicking his door. And it cost him his life. Check this out.
Authorities in Spotsylvania County are still deciding whether to charge a homeowner in that deadly shooting of a teen. Investigators say the 18-year-old was one of 3 teens breaking into the man's house.
Fox 5's Bob Barnard with the very latest from Fredericksburg.
Neighbors tell us the man who shot the teen at his home in this neighborhood overnight Saturday is in the military. The young man shot and killed was 18-year-old Micheal Bosworth Jr., played lacrosse and football for Massaponax High School. Spotsylvania County Sheriff's officials say Bosworth and 2 juveniles were in the backyard of a home on Mackenzie Lane around 3 in the morning Saturday, trying to break into the house when they were confronted by the homeowner. Bosworth was shot and killed, one of the other boys wounded in the gunfire. Neighbors tell us they heard as many as 8 gunshots and that the teens had tried to break into other homes on the street that night. The boys who survived tell investigators they were only recording themselves dinging and ditching for a TikTok challenge, not trying to commit burglaries. Reaction here in the Fredericksburg neighborhood this afternoon.
I'm sorry the kid did that. I wish that he hadn't done what he did because he had to pay the ultimate price. Nobody likes that. Nobody, not even the homeowner. Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
So not a good idea. It's not safe. Just don't do it.
Because you don't know what's on the other side of the door.
Right. Just don't do it.
Of course, she's talking about the whole notion of dinging and ditching. We're told grief counselors were at Massaponax High School today. Micheal Bosworth was set to graduate later this month. We're told Saturday night's prom went on as scheduled. Michael's stepfather, who I spoke to on the phone this afternoon, says they are mourning their son. He was a brother also as well, and they say they appreciate the love and support they're getting from the community. Guys.
So first of all, when you're doing the ding dong ditch, we're not out 3 o'clock in the morning doing ding dong ditch, and we're not going to the back door. Another thing is, had they been running away, he would have been able to shoot them, open fire. Listen, he wouldn't have been able to do what he did, right? This guy got shot in the stomach, right, while being at the door, kicking this man's door in 3 o'clock in the morning, not the front door, the back door. What is he supposed to do, right? Go to check and see who it is and what's going on? No. So now this man is being held without bond. Held without bond. Now we know for a fact, if this was a W man, and this was 3 black kids doing this, it would have been an open shut case. Because 3 black boys at a W man's house, 3 o'clock in the morning, kicking in the door. Oh, no. They might have went and arrested their parents as well. But now this man is sitting in a prison while he's at the same time serving his country. But there's been a lot of mixed reviews on this, right? On social media when it comes to this case. Check it out.
Tyler Chase Butler pretty much did what anybody with common sense would do if they heard some back door at 3 in the morning. Like ding dong ditch, that was played when we was shorties and now they trying to bring it back. Like ain't nothing open at 3 in the morning but 7-Elevens and legs. And meanwhile, they was doing this to get TikTok views. Again, rest in peace to Micheal Bosworth Jr., but that was some wrong at 3 in the morning. So now we going out on a limb saying if you're a homeowner, you can't protect your own house? Or is it the fact that Micheal Bosworth Jr. was white? Like, I can't even fathom how someone would see that Tyler Chase Butler was in the wrong for defending his own crib. Because I know if I was put in that position, or probably some of y'all was put in that position, you're going to do something first and ask questions later. And if we're playing ding dong ditch, that's supposed to be at the front of the house. How the hell you end up at the back of the house? Everybody knows that if someone trying to come through the back of your house, that's a robbery in progress. But Tyler Chase Butler should not be arrested right now for protecting his own home. That's just absurd.
But then you get the W woman. She gives her breakdown. And a lot of them, they're upset because they can't really go in the manner in which they want to go in. They have to sit here and hold this L. But let's listen to the W woman as she gives her opinion. Check it out.
A high school senior was filming a prank for TikTok when he was fatally shot. This story is so tragic and heartbreaking. So a teen from Virginia and his two friends were reportedly pranking a stranger's home. This was in the middle of the night on Saturday when the resident opened fire and shot. The teen was killed on the day of his senior prom. So tragic. 18-year-old Micheal Bosworth Jr. and two of his friends had been knocking on strangers' doors at around 3 a.m. They were said to have been recording themselves doing the ding-dong ditch pranks, and that was for TikTok. They would run away from the home to hide after they rang the doorbell. Someone reportedly called 911 to report a burglary in process. Then that caused the Spotsylvania County Sheriff's deputies to come to the neighborhood. It was said that was near Fredericksburg. The sheriff's office said that the person who called 911 also reported that a resident had fired shots at 3 people. This was after they reportedly tried to kick down the door, allegedly. One other teen was reported wounded and he was treated at a local hospital. And then the third teen was not injured. The surviving shooting victim reportedly told authorities that the group of teens had seen others uploading videos of themselves ringing doorbells and running away on TikTok, so they decided to make their own. They had already reportedly hit a couple of doors in the neighborhood before the shooting took place. Detectives then interviewed the teen who was not shot, and that teen reportedly said that he had at least one ding-dong ditch video on his cell phone, so authorities then got a search warrant to be able to search the phones. It was said that Micheal was shot in the torso and he died at a hospital. This week, I believe on Tuesday, May 6th, deputies arrested 27-year-old Tyler Chase Butler, who is pictured here on the right. That was on charges of second-degree murder, and the charges were related to the shooting incident. He was charged with malicious wounding and the use of a firearm in commission of a felony. He is reportedly being held at the Rappahannock Regional Jail. He is scheduled to appear in court next week on an unrelated misdemeanor charge of violation of a protective order and unlawfully disseminating images of another. It was said Micheal was just days away from his last high school lacrosse game, and he was just weeks away from graduating from Massaponax High School. His girlfriend, Melinda Garcia, has since said that he was the best boyfriend, person, brother, son, and friend that anyone could ask for. On the night of Micheal's death, the senior class gathered on the football field where he had played dozens of games in the past. It was said they dressed in his favorite colors of pink and blue, and they wrote letters to him on balloons and paper lanterns, and they then released them into the sky. This is so sad and senseless, but guys, you've got to be careful. It's really not smart to do these types of pranks. They are too dangerous, and people are crazy, and they will shoot if they feel threatened. My heart and prayers definitely go out to all of Micheal's loved ones. He was so young with such a bright future ahead of him.
It's funny how she tried to read some of his past incidents that he had. Now, mind you, this man was still in the military. So whatever went on that night with those kids trying to kick into his door had nothing to do with what he'd been arrested for anyway. But these are little subtle shots that they throw in because our image has been tarnished so much in the media. They can put that stuff out there and W folks will start saying, see, that's a thug. See, that's the thug. He has a criminal record. He's known for doing this. So now we understand why he unalived this young W boy. That's what they do. That's how they operate. You got to listen. But on TikTok, there's some young men doing pranks showing what the pranks look like, right? And they did this on TikTok where you can tell that this is not real. There was a police officer involved. There was some kids kicking in this W girl's door. And she came outside and called the police. So the police came, they caught the boys, they brought them back, and they were, listen, this is this is like a spoof or something that they was doing to show what the ding dong thing looks like, right? Or kicking in the doors. Check this out.
Three hours later.
We apologize. How about we apologize? And if she can apologize to us. I'll see if she's okay with that. Hello. If you apologize to them, they said they're okay with apologizing to you as well.
Here's the thing, I won't press charges. Can I just get a quick nay-nay? I know you heard us through the door. We're sorry for knocking on your door. It was not our intention. Knocking.
Banging.
You want me to press charges?
Yeah, go for it. Like, are you serious? That's not an apology. That's a threat.
We'll apologize for banging on the door.
So as you can see, the way that they are doing these things is not the way that we did them. Back in the day, we rung your doorbell, ring, 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 and then we took off. We didn't kick in no doors, especially in the late 80s and the early 90s in the black community, right? During the hyper-masculine crack era, you ain't kicking nobody's door. No, not in Philadelphia. Not back in them days. No, right? We rung doorbells. And then we took off running, right? So there was a lot of things, but we definitely didn't. You definitely in the 80s. In the late 80s, early 90s, if you in Detroit, you in Chicago, you in Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., which was the unaliving capital at the time, New Orleans, right, Baltimore, you ain't going into nobody's back door in the 80s and the early 90s and kicking in their door at 3 o'clock in the morning. Watch where you'd have been. So what these kids is doing now, trying to reenact this kind of stuff and use it, man, listen. And they got everything on camera now. So I'm sure that they got some type of surveillance camera where you could have seen this, right? So they're saying that this kid was about to graduate. You know, he was, I think he was supposed to go on his prom. They was doing all these things and he got unalived. But I want to know, the same way they do us, where was his parents at? Why was he outside 3 o'clock in the morning? Where was his father? Is there a father involved? Where was his father at while this young teenager was outside 3 o'clock in the morning kicking somebody's back door in? Pause. Huh? Where was his daddy? Because that's how they do us. It's unfortunate that he lost his life. I don't advocate for the unaliving of anybody, but he put himself in that position to be unalived. My son, God willingly, ain't going to be at nobody's door at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to kick their door in, talking about something. It's a TikTok prank. So this young man was unalive. Taylor Butler is still locked up, charged with first-degree murder. He's still locked up with no bond. So the news has confirmed, though, that they're saying that he was trying to break into the home. So we'll see how this goes as time goes along. As more of this come out, I'll report more of this. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think of this, right? Subscribe to Street Media TV. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.